Here's a simple step-by-step guide to making sourdough bread. Ingredients. For the starter, 100 g whole wheat flour, 100 g water, room temperature. For the dough, 500 g bread flour, or a mix of white and whole wheat flour, 350 g water, room temperature, 100 g sourdough starter, mature and bubbly, 10 g salt. Step 1. Prepare the sourdough starter, if you don't have one. Day 1. Mix 100 g whole wheat flour and 100 g water in a jar. Stir well, cover loosely with a lid or cloth, and let sit at room temperature for 24 hours. Day 2 to 7. Each day, discard half of the mixture and feed it with 100 g of water and 100 g of flour. After about 5 to 7 days, your starter should be bubbly and active. If you already have a mature starter, skip this step. Step 2. Autolyse. In a large bowl, mix 500 g of bread flour with 350 g of water. Stir until all the flour is hydrated. Then cover the bowl and let it rest for about 30 minutes to an hour. This process is called autolyse and helps develop gluten. Step 3. Add starter and salt. After the autolyse, add 100 g of your sourdough starter and 10 g of salt to the dough. Mix everything together until fully incorporated. You can use your hands or a dough hook if using a stand mixer. Step 4. Knead the dough. Turn the dough onto a clean surface and knead for about 10 minutes. The dough should become smooth and elastic. If using a stand mixer, knead with a dough hook on medium speed for about 8 minutes. Step 5. Bulk fermentation, first rise. Place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl and cover with a damp towel or plastic wrap. Let it rise at room temperature for 4 to 6 hours. During this time, perform a series of stretch and folds every 30 minutes for the first 2 hours to help build the dough structure. To do this, wet your hands, pull one side of the dough up, and fold it over to the opposite side. Repeat this on all 4 sides. Step 6. Shape the dough. Once the dough has risen and doubled in size, gently turn it out onto a floured surface. Shape the dough into a round or oval loaf, depending on your preference. For a round loaf, pull the edges towards the center and turn the dough to form a tight ball. For an oval loaf, flatten the dough, fold in the sides, and roll it up tightly. Step 7. Final proof, second rise. Place the shaped dough into a proofing basket or bowl lined with a floured towel. Cover and let it rise for another 1 to 2 hours at room temperature, or refrigerate it overnight for a slower, colder rise. This improves flavor. Step 8. Preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit 230 degrees Celsius. If using a Dutch oven, place it in the oven to preheat as well. Step 9. Score the dough. Once your dough is fully proofed, turn it out onto a piece of parchment paper. Using a sharp knife or razor blade, score the top of the dough to allow it to expand while baking. You can make one long slash or a few short ones, depending on your preference. Step 10. Bake the bread. Carefully transfer the dough, on parchment paper, into the preheated Dutch oven, or place it directly on a baking stone. Cover with the Dutch oven lid, if using, and bake for 20 to 25 minutes. After 20 to 25 minutes, remove the lid and bake for an additional 20 to 25 minutes, or until the bread is golden brown and sounds hollow when tapped on the bottom. Step 11. Cool and enjoy. Let the bread cool on a wire rack for at least an hour before slicing to allow the crumb to set. Enjoy your freshly baked sourdough bread.